So hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me on an evening session, overnight, the first one of the year, and we're on the beautiful Belmont pool and we're in search of carp. Arriving on the pool about 6 o'clock, there was a couple of fish milling in this area, had a good walk around, seen quite a lot of fish moving. The water is a lot lower than I've seen it before, and because of that you are seeing a lot of bubbles, which I don't think all are carp, but some of them most definitely are. You can see a lot of activity on the pool from the geese because the swan is nesting down there, so the male swan is kicking anything that's on the water off the water. I've seen a couple of fish mooching this area here, so just while I'm having my tea I put a PVA bag round about here, just in open water. I seen a couple milling about and put a PVA bag amongst them, so it's one of them. The other one, so I've been putting some hemp seed because it's nice and dark. Been picking out the bits of sweet corn out of it that you can see on the screen now. So I've got a nice dark bait on the bottom, and I've put a couple of boilies on as well, the Beesanana boilies. It's just to try and blend into the bottom. You know, sweet corn's going to grab the attention of every duck and bird going. So yeah, nip the Carp on the way. So I'm going to sit back, have my tea. The shelter or the bivvy's up. It's the first thing I grabbed, to be honest with you. It was the easiest thing to grab. So that's gone up. Give a bit of rain through the night, and we've got to be off around about 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, isn't the quietest of places, most definitely, and if they don't shut up we'll be having geese for tea tomorrow. Because I've been on Shakely Mere on the park lake, every bubble you think is a fish now on here, but I'm almost certain a lot of it isn't. So I'm going to sit back and have my tea. So that's the view of the lake. I've got the sides on the bivvy pulled back to give me a bit more of a view, and yeah, it's a nice view of the lake, isn't it? So talking about the stock, around about a year and a half ago we put 20 C5s in between 15 and 20 pound, and 5 C6s between 20 and 25, and then there's been a boost in stocking of 3 more C6s last October, and there's a couple of originals, 4 or 5 originals, so you're talking about 30 carp, and some of them C5s have pushed onto 20s now, so if we get a bite it's at least going to be over 15 pound to what, 26 maybe, if they've come on well. But that is the look of the lake. You can see the rods are out, the first night session of the season. Well, a very uneventful night, and one thing I can say, with the car park being all the way over there, this is not going to be a fun pack away. Absolutely bucketing down, but with the school run to do and work, yeah, who'd be a fisherman, eh? So last time you saw me, I was round about there through them trees doing the first night of the season. Plenty of activity through the night, but sadly a blank. It's a hard water, it's a lot of effort but high reward. Like I said, there's only 33 fish in it I think, but they're all nice, so we'll definitely be back on there for another go. Tonight you join me and Mark on another overnighter. A day or two later and we're on Serpentine Pool. As you can see, the bottom, like it does on all the pools, is beginning to break up as it warms up, so definitely the carp are on the move, but it's very quiet, very quiet. Finished work at 5 o'clock, got the gear in the car and headed straight out. Very few signs though to go on. I've had one fish move in this area, and there's been one fish jump out over there. Very little to go on, and to be honest with you, I hadn't seen any signs before the setup, so I went with the thinking that the wind's kind of slowly moving that way, so the food is as well, and hopefully the carp will follow it. Got both rods out. Left hand rod is on a PVA bag round about where them ducks are now. Use the sticks to measure it so we can get back there in the night. And the other rod I've just got into open water here, and again that's just on a scattering of boilies and a boilie on the hook. We're out again, this time for the night session with the new korum day shelter. Just about fits me bed shed underneath it. Got the fold all at the back there with all my gear in, and a few bits and pieces down there that I might need in the night. So yeah, as long as it doesn't rain, which they've not give, we'll be fine. Since we were last on, there's a few new additions to the pool. The cows are back, and I'm sure they'll be visiting us soon. They've already been over to say hello, so hopefully they stay away. I say I fish the rivers a lot, so I'm not unused to cows, but I do know the dangers that come with them. So yeah, the rod's out, day in work done. It's time to sit back and hopefully we'll get a carp for the vlog. Speaking of the rods, we're out tonight with the Korum XTND rods in 10 foot, 2.75 pound test curve. We've got the zelos reels on them, and we've got 15 pound line. But just looking at the pool, sat here, just looking for signs. Like I say, I spent an hour before I even set up, and that's why it's so late on. Because my thinking is it's better to spend an hour looking than it is just to plonk anywhere and chuck it and chance. So you've always got to have a method to your madness, and like I said before, that's my thought process. And you've just seen a carp jump, so if he's jumping there, you know, my bait is there. It's a shallow pool, he's not too far away, is he? I'm sure if he's hungry he'll come across it, and I'm sure he's not alone. What we'd like to see though is them reels scream off, won't we? That's what we want to see. So no sooner had I finished that piece than the right hand rod has just a couple of beeps, and yeah, to be straight on it because the fish come towards me, so it was a tiny lift on the alarm. But yeah, hopefully we can get the first carp on the bank. And there we go. The starts to an evening go. They don't come much better than that, did he? Beautiful fish. And yeah, the faintest of bites, but what a lovely fish on the end. Been a few moving while I've been sorting this fish out, unhooking it, giving it a rest. So excited for the evening to come. But yeah, been fishing probably half an hour, got that intro done, and that's the way to start an evening, isn't it? Let's get this beautiful fish straight back and get the rod back on the spot. So before we put the rig back out there, just go over it. So tungsten loaded tubing, got a lead clip down to a 2 ounce lead, a korum sleeve to aid separation, you know, to push the bait out. And because the water's so clear, got a length of fluorocarbon down to a size 6 korum hook and a simple boilie on the end. As I say, I'm not a great fan of complicated rigs. Just the right rig for the situation you're fishing. The water's clear, So the fluorocarbon, invisible, and a nice simple bait. Let's get it back out there. So the rod's back out, a few boilies as you can see on screen now, just placed around it, not loads, just fishing for the bite. While I was sorting that fish, there was another one jumped off the edge of the island, and there's been a bit of a bow wave again against the far wall, so they are mooching about. Historically on here, I've done 1 or 2 vlogs, and I'll put a link to the top of the screen now to one of them. Probably the one I did with my daughter, because that was a lovely session. And yeah, you get an idea of the pool and the tactics. Bite time normally is over by 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it's an early morning bite if you're lucky. So yeah, things can change, you never know, but there's definitely signs of carp over there. The more I look, the more I see. So it's just coming up to midnight and the boilie rod has gone again. Just a slow little take. So just coming up to midnight and the boilie rod has gone again with this beautiful minnow, slightly bigger than the other one. When you've not played a fish in a while at night, the battle is weird, isn't it? You can't see what's going on. You lose your senses a bit. Been asleep for about an hour, heard 2 beeps. I was straight out of that bed and yeah, playing this fish. Second one of the session, and if it's anything like normal on here, this will be the last one of the night. So another one coming to the simple knotless knot bottom bait with the simple boilie on it. Time to get it back on the spot. Another handful of boilies over the top, and you never know. If I was going to guess, my money would have been on that rod to go, because it went in perfectly, as close to the bank as I would want it to be. You know, it's very undercut over there, and I'm actually shocked that it's not that rod that's gone. You know, when a rod goes in that well and you know it's a spot that can produce, yeah. But 2 carp on a quick overnighter, I'm not complaining. The rod's back out on the spot, and not long after it went to dark, I was out like a light. It was a busy day in work today, and I was miles away, fast asleep. But now, sat here, buzzing, wide awake. You know, the adrenaline's pumping, and yeah, bad news on a school night. So I'm just going to sit here, chill out for a bit, have a look at my phone, and then hopefully, you never know, can we get number 3? So sadly, after turning that light off, no more bites were forthcoming, and I was awoken by the birds singing and the sun just beginning to peak on the horizon. There was bubbling in the swim, and I was full of excitement and I hoped that a bite would come. But I spent the morning watching a proper fisherman hard at work before heading off, leaving the swim clear to work. So you join me now. I've been in work, and school nights are hard, aren't they? The one where you're blank on the hard lake, you get a decent night's kip, but you go work the next day thinking about where you've gone wrong. The ones like today, where last night we had a couple of bites, you're on edge, you don't really sleep that well. It's been a hard day in work, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I really do hope you've enjoyed these sessions on the bank, coming along on the first couple of night sessions of the season. I want to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing. I really do appreciate the support you show the channel. Tight lines, and I'll catch you all next week.